What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're in the midst of framing and building the largest building we've ever built, but I'm gonna make a dedicated video on the Magni. On and off, I've used the Magni, the rotator. If you guys have followed the channel, you guys have probably seen that. And for those of you that are new that maybe don't know my thoughts on this and why we're using it and whatever, that's what this video is gonna be about. And we're gonna talk about it through the process of trussing this side of the building. I've already done this side. So I have a lot of good thoughts and feelings about this machine that I'll share with you. And if you're on the fence, because you're a builder, and you've seen one of these and you don't know if it's worth it to you, then this video is for you. And if you just love heavy machinery and watching stuff get built and me talking about things, seems crazy, but that would also be a good video for you to watch right here. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, we're using the RTH 6.30, okay? This is a rotating telehandler. I just made that up, but that probably is what it stands for. It's a rotator, so unlike most telehandlers that you see on sites, this is like a mobile crane. You'll see the rotating component. This is a Liebherr, whatever, rotator right here, so it's high quality. This is a 6-ton machine, 30 meters in capacity, so it's got a awesome long stick, which has been very handy to us. And we're renting it from Kirby Smith. So if they're around you or whatever, you could probably rent this same machine. Take a look at this number right here. And when you talk to them, say, hey, I want to rent the machine that Kyle had, ZZ23072. This is not by any means the biggest machine they make, but it's plenty big enough for what we're doing. And you don't need a crane operator license to run it unless you start putting like the crane winch on the front. So we've just been running on this job, the sky hook. And the reason I like the sky hook here is that it is less weight than a boom or a jib, which would give me more, distance, but it gives me more capacity because it doesn't weigh so much. So this is why I like it. Now, we're gonna get into this, so let's just get started and we'll kind of talk through the pros and cons of this machine, why we like it. But I just wanted to give you the base. This is a 630. It's a Magni. There's other brands out there. I've only ever used a Magni. Maybe someday we'll get to use some other brands and see what we think about them. But yeah, Magni, man, I love this machine. I will say that right from the get-go. You don't have to wait around to the end to see what I think about it. I love this machine. All right, so the first thing I got to do in order to utilize this amazing remote, we're going to go ahead and put the outriggers out. So we got a button. They're pretty darn fast, so setup is pretty quick. Cole, let's go ahead and get those pads placed, my guy. I wish I could remote control the outriggers. That would be kind of nice, so I could be out there setting pads.
Almost had it perfect.
Yep, almost had it perfect. So by doing the outriggers, that's when we're really gonna unleash all the power of this machine. Its capacities, it's gonna do a self-level, so that's awesome. It takes all the guesswork out, but if you need to do any of the leveling on the screen, it gives me an exact diagram of the machine, where level is, and I can manipulate each one of these 4 outrigger pads to move it just ever so slightly. All right, so now that I've got that, I'm gonna turn my radio control remote on. All right, that just let me know that I now have control. And let's go hook up a truss. You can change all the speed settings in there. Right now, I think it's basically slowed down because it is a rental machine. Personally, for how efficient this is, I'm okay that it doesn't move like super fast speed. I can change my RPM here if I need to, but I really don't need to. I keep it low, conserve diesel, and just do kind of nice and slow and steady movements. So in my opinion, this is where having a rotator, a crane like this on site with a remote control really has increased my efficiencies. back in the day when I would use my telehandler for this sort of operation, I'd probably be sitting in the cab of the telehandler. I would be waiting for the guys, Greg usually, now that I got Cole here helping on this job, maybe Cole, they would be doing all this and I would be sitting in the cab. Instead, I can be out here doing this work, being one of the crew members while still controlling everything. So labor is a huge issue on most job sites. Most guys don't want to work, or maybe it's just hard to find, you know, good quality work. And this is one way to combat it. The machine costs a lot of money. We'll get to that. I'll give you an idea on what these things cost. But what does it cost to have a person on site every day? Maybe you don't need them full time, but they're there anyway. This basically saves me labor, right? I don't have as many people, or I can get more done with the same number of people because I don't have to be sitting up there in that cab. See, look at this. I am right over top. I can see exactly where my pick is. I can make sure that I like everything. I can make sure that I'm picking from the right angle. When you're sitting over in a cab, you're relying on communication, which, you know, that's fine, but seeing it for yourself, that is, that's the ultimate. All right, buddy, you ready? Yep. We're just gonna go straight over the wall and I'm gonna turn it, okay? So you're gonna swing that end around and that end will go all the way around. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Patience, my son.
I thought you were up. I thought you were up. I thought you were up.
Patience. Patience. I like that I can also be close enough to see, but far enough away that I'm safe. What's up? What's up?
The tree?
I am figuring out where all these distances are, buddy. That tree is closer than I thought.
Cut it down.
No, I'm not gonna let it down. I'm gonna go higher.
Oh, I'm gonna say cut it down.
Oh, cut it down? Yeah, we'll do that.
Cut the tree
That's all right.
down.
This is our first one in this path. I'm learning. All right, now you're gonna come back. Come back. Yep. And you're gonna let that kind of guide all the way around, okay?
All right.
Next time, do a better job on your strap. I don't like seeing all those curls, you know what I'm saying? Keep rotating, keep rotating, keep rotating. Keep rotating. See, for me, communication is key. And when you're in a machine talking to the guys out on the ground, it gets very hard. But right now, I could be right here next to Cole. We're talking. All right, Cole, I'm gonna go get in my lift, okay? I mean, this to me is epic. I can be controlling the machine and putting the truss right where it belongs. This is like ultimate safety, ultimate awareness. How far are we gonna have to boom out, you think?
Very far.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
I'm in, dude.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can it go your way more?
Yeah, I can, buddy. Okay. All right, make sure you're you're good?
Yeah.
Good. There, look at that. I just turned off the machine. It's not gonna sit there and run forever, wasting us fuel, causing all sorts of headaches just listening to it. I can set this thing down, but ultimately, this is the biggest perk of this machine is I just saved from having to be in the cab, running it, yelling up to the guys saying, where do I need to go? Left, right, up, down. No, I can be right here controlling it and do exactly what I want to do while also having great communication because I'm away from the loud noise of the machine with the guys. So that's the biggest perk right there. We're gonna go right off the bat by saying that is you're saving labor, you're being safer, you're being more efficient with this machine. So let's go ahead and keep working and we'll talk more in a little bit. Come on. Hey Cole, go ahead and let down the Magni. Oh, never mind. I can do it right here. Once again, saving me tons of time. I used to have to go down, I had to put the temp board up, I'd have to yell to Greg or somebody, hey, go ahead and drop the telehandler so we can undo these straps and go to the next one. Not anymore. Can do it all right here. Once again, huge, huge time saver and efficiency. Oh, and to go along with this, I'm gonna get all these straps off, and almost by time I get back down there, I can be controlling this, moving it in place for the next truss to get attached before I even get there. This allows us to just constantly be moving. I had a hard time believing it was gonna swing around that far. So I'm still walking over here. I would normally have to go to the machine, drive it to the next truss, or somebody else would have to. Instead, like, this is already moving into place. Hey, you got your tagline?
Yep.
We'll do the exact same way. I think that worked good. I'll just watch out for the tree this time.
Yeah.
My bad, dude. I'll get better. You just wait until we get over that wall, and then you can start kind of moving it. I'm just gonna go pretty high up, pretty far out. Yep, you beat that tree. You get ahead of it. Yeah, nice. Now start slowing it down. No, you're good, you're good. So effortless. Nice work. All right. Hey, so why don't you guys come in the cab here and I'll show you kind of a lot of these settings and what we're able to do here in the control panel. Even though I like to use the remote, a lot of the information that's important is right here. This is like my leveling page, and it's pretty darn important because first it's gonna give me all 4 of my outriggers. It's telling me how far out they are, which they're 100% out, and then it's giving me my down pressure. So you can see, you know, these two are reading 99%, 100%. And then right here, this is what's gonna tell me if I'm in the center. If I leave this ring in the center, I'm gonna lose capacities. I also have, you can see here, how much my machine is rotated. So you're looking at my stick. Right now, I'm rotated off to the right. So I can, you know, select or deselect these two if I want to just operate my left 2 outriggers, or vice versa, or I can just hit this button, turn them all on. So if we kind of go through the screens, we've got more information here. This is like my general screen. It's got my diesel fuel. Here I can change my steering type. So front wheel steer, all wheel steer, crab crawl. I don't know what this is, if it's like cold weather protection, I don't know. And then diff lock, float, all these other things. I can change the RPM of the machine. Look at this. This is what I love. When I'm in here operating, you see this little weight. That's telling me right now where my load is on the load chart. So you can see I get full capacity when the boom is all the way in, out to about 25 feet, and all the way up to almost 40 feet. And then as you start to go out, I'm losing my capacity. And when I go all the way 80 feet out, I'm only at 660 pounds of lift capacity. And something I've learned is that I also have to be fairly straight with the machine. If I get off to the sides, it doesn't like that sometimes, and it will drop the capacity. Let's see, let's keep moving over here. I want to show you another page. This just has like my heating and cooling, lighting. This is where I'm going to turn on if I want to run my radio control. This is pretty cool. So let's assume that you're working in an area with power lines. What you can do is you can move the boom to certain spots and change here where it will stop. So if you get close to an electrical line, you can go in here and say, don't let the machine turn anymore that way. And now that I'm looking at this, I might have some restrictions. As you can see, that was on, that was on. There might have been restrictions, and that's why I wasn't able to go out as far as I was hoping. I've done it before. I think I just turned it off, because you can see they've got like dimensions in here, and then this is also going to give me the speed at which things will go in and out, turn, go up and down. I can make it go faster or slower. I just kind of leave it at the defaults. It's not really worth it, but I've got this dial over here. I can move everything around, change it. And then over here is my controls for booming the outriggers up, down, in and out. And then also when I'm driving, I have the ability to kind of side shift. So if I'm on unlevel ground, I can keep my actual cab as level as possible. So nice control sticks. The joysticks are really nice and comfortable. But anyway, so that's the control panel. I really just leave all those settings how they are. I make sure my radio control is on, and then I try to do everything from the radio. This isn't my spot other than the nice air conditioning once in a while. And it is a really comfortable ride, but usually we're just setting it and then using it like a little mobile crane. Something that I've learned the hard way is that every night I kind of wrap this thing back up. I'll leave the outriggers down, that hasn't bothered me. But what you must do, if you ever rent one of these and the rental company does not tell you, master battery, just turn it off. There's so much sensors and electronics and whatever in here that if you leave that on overnight, you have especially in colder weather, you have a really good chance to come back to a dead machine. And it's a 24-volt system, so you either got to have a really expensive 24-volt jumper, or you got to bring two 12-volt batteries, run them in parallel or series or whatever, and to re-jump it. I know that because this last winter when I was doing RRHQ 2.0, we left it on a couple times and had to go through that. So that's something that I wanted to share with you guys. It is a downside to this machine. It's so smart. It's got so many electronics. It's not like my old JLG telehandler that is just a simple, you know, Cummins diesel engine and some hydraulics. Like, this is so smart. There's so much stuff going on that you have to turn it off every night and then come back and turn it on. It's not a big deal. We get used to it. So just want to share that. One of the cool things about this machine, because it is so smart, is that every attachment that is approved and made for this has a little RFID tag right back here. And when you mate this together and you hook up to it, automatically the machine knows what you've got and it changes your load chart and all the capacities specifically for this, because every tool and attachment has a different load chart and you don't have to guess it. It's not like the old days where you just kind of free willy it, and when you start feeling your butt lift up in the rear end, you think I got too much load. No, this knows exactly what you've got here. It's got sensors and it will not let you overload the machine. You do have an override. You can turn the key and get out of sticky situations, but I don't recommend that, because if you're renting it, or even if you got in a real pickle, you can go into the computer and you can see every time that you overrode the system to do something that the machine said that is not safe. So just don't push it. When it beeps at you, just go back and reset and do something different, like move the machine a little bit closer or take a little bit of weight off. So it's pretty cool how smart it is. You really can't mess up, and that adds a lot of safety factor in my eyes. Easy. You know, another nice thing about the Magni versus the telehandler is with a telehandler, a fixed boom, like when you drive in, it goes where your boom is. And then if you're off, let's say left to right, it's really hard unless you lean a little bit with your carriage tilt. It's hard to do small adjustments. That's another really nice thing. I mean, we've got all the up, down, left, right, in, out, right here. So it's super effortless and smooth and just so nice. I mean, it's a little bit weird because you're working almost in like a 3D or a 4D space versus with a stick. You're like, boom, I'm right here. I go up, down, I go in, out. Now that you have the ability to kind of go in, out, down, left, right, you have to work in multiple axes to get the thing to go to where you want. And sometimes it's kind of weird, but as you get really good with the controls, it's like an extension of yourself. All right, so we've been using the Magni and getting these 3 bays of trusses up, but we've worked to the extent of we're on top of the Magni now, we need to move it. And I think this is a great thing to show so you guys kind of get a feel for how easy and fast it is to set this thing up. Cole, I'm gonna get this thing going. You wanna move that skid loader out of my way? I should have started this a little bit earlier. Get the air conditioner cold, you know? It's pretty warm in here. All this glass is like a little sauna. Always let the beep, let it finish. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the radio control. And I'm gonna boom it in. I don't have to turn back around to my 0. I can actually just kind of leave the crane or the rotator just like so. I lied. The angle's too steep. I need to get rid of these straps. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Come on. This is me being lazy. It's me being lazy. Okay. So you can drive this without being straight, but my boom was too high in the air. So I can go up and down with my outriggers, but my boom can't be at a certain angle. I don't know what that is. If it tells me the boom angle is too great, I just lower it. And now it's just the push of a button, and I'm gonna go back down. I'm gonna lift my riggers up. And I think what's really cool about this is I don't have to pull my outriggers back in to back up. Once again, I think that's gonna increase efficiency. We got a nice backup camera so I can see behind me. And let's go a little bit further. I don't know that you have to use the outrigger pads if you have really good base, but every time I've ever rented one of these, we got these really hardcore outrigger pads. I have some sort of like a nylon or UHMW material, and why not use them? The one downside to this machine is that the thing weighs, I think, close to 40,000 pounds, I think. We could probably look at a placard, but that's kind of the downside. You can't just haul this with a truck and trailer, so most people are gonna have to either hire a service out, or if you've got your own equipment, you know, tractor trailer combo, you could do that. Me personally, I would have to hire this out every time I moved it. You can road it. It has a road gear. I think it goes like 28 miles an hour or something, but that would be miserable if you're going any sort of distance. Let's put the outriggers and I'll show you how quickly and easily it self-levels and you're ready to go on the next lift. Simple push of the button. Outriggers are going back down to the pads. And let's see how long it takes to auto level this. Boom, auto leveling in progress. And that's it. So we are now ready with max performance and capabilities to start hanging material again. So while Cole's getting this next truss set up, let's kind of put a closing on this, you know? I didn't want this to be some crazy long video. There's a lot of videos of us using the Magni, doing the truss frame, doing the metal roofing, using it for fall protection, which I don't think legally you can do. I don't know why. It's like way better than any other fall protection system that I've ever been a part of. You can get tons of different attachments on this machine. I've seen attachments that can go out, grab trees, cut them off and bring them down safely. Forks, you know, the man basket we used on my shop build. So there's tons of attachments. They all hook up to the machine. They got that RFID tag so the machine knows what the attachment is. Price-wise, it's kind of hard to talk price because depending on your dealer and their markup and market and all that good stuff. But I was told that a machine like this, maybe you're in the mid 300s, and I could be wrong. That was like last year when I was contemplating this. Listen, this doesn't make sense for me to own because we do very few buildings this big. Even buildings like my shop, we use it for a couple weeks and then it would sit while we're doing everything else. So unless I had a crew that was gonna be building and framing all the time, this is a machine that you bring in for the job and then you send away, you let someone else do the maintenance, the repairs, the hauling, all of that stuff. But it does not negate the fact that it is a beautiful piece of machinery, well thought out, and a huge labor savings, at least on my job sites. Now I'm curious, what do you guys think? Do you think in your application for your business, would something like this help you? Anyone out there watching this that has a rotator, something like this, what have you guys found? How do you use it? Let me know down below in the comments. Hopefully, you know, this isn't like a Milwaukee drill that's $299, and if I tell you it's great, you're gonna run out and buy it. No, this is a very select niche tool that not a lot of people can either afford or need. So if you do have information, if you have insight into these machines, drop it down below. Help the 1 or 2 people that might watch this video thinking about this tool, this machine, and give them some insight. Tell them what you think, because for me, I love this machine. It is like when it's here, I just want to move things around with it. It has like extreme capabilities. One day I want to get like the 1035, I think is what it is. So a 10-ton machine, 35-meter stick. It might even be bigger than that. They got some crazy stuff. I love it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this. We've got some more trussing to do, but I just wanted to make a video about the Magni. Everybody wants to know, when am I gonna buy one? And I don't think I'm buying one anytime soon, unless maybe Cole wants to, you know, go down the rabbit hole of being a builder, and then we invest in a longer future. But I don't know. That's a lot of money to spend for what I do, how often I do it, and the way I do it. I'm gonna get back to work. See you guys later.